Let's go.
Let's go.
This is Who's Funding This Podcast.
Who's funding this podcast?
So far,
Us.
If anybody else wants to.
This is a self-funded podcast, and that was never our intention.
We would love a rich podcast daddy to buy our podcast.
Yeah.
And tell us what to do.
Yeah, you horny for podcasts. You real horny for podcasts?
Speaking of horny for podcasts, I am your host, Maddy Bird.
I am your host, Doug Terranova. And I think the mic probably picked up my gulp just now.
Maybe not.
This is... Oh my god, I almost said branch. This is Who's Funding This Podcast After Dark.
After dark. Yeah, it's almost... the sun is almost gone down.
Yeah, this is our, maybe our third time recording in the evening.
Classic miscommunication. You don't have to call her anymore! Magic of editing.
Let's just pick it back up. This is only like our third time recording in the evening.
Yeah.
And there's a different energy to that.
There is a different energy. It's like, I really enjoy the... And this is kind of why, even though we're recording a little bit late tonight, I was kind of pushing for it, because I just really enjoy the idea of sitting down. Mm-hmm. Like these chairs are pretty comfortable, just sitting down, having a fun conversation.
Yeah.
You know, having a glass of wine or a beer, in this case. Unnamed. Unless sponsored.
Michelob Schmultra.
Unless Podcast Daddy tells us we can say the name, we will not.
Yeah, this isn't product placement until there's money involved.
Exactly. So it's a fun deal. I'm very excited to jump into my first episode of season 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but we have to talk about it. How have you been?
I've been good. I had to buy a new car.
Yeah.
Which I think, like, some people had the wrong reaction when I told them that. I was like, I have to go car shopping. And they're like, oh, that's so much fun. And I was like, you didn't hear me correctly. I said I have to. Yeah. I am afraid of dealerships. Did you buy it at a dealership, or did you buy it from somebody? I bought it at a dealership. But did you know you can go on Carfax.com? This is also, no one's giving us money for this. And they're used cars. Uh-huh. And it's great because you can just see the Carfax. So that's what I did. And went to this dealership that was kind of shady.
Okay.
And we paid cash for it because we got financing outside of them, so it just acted as cash. And they were like, actually, the price that we showed was a discount if you finance through us, but if you don't finance through us, it's an extra $1,000.
Right, of course. Mm-hmm.
And so we were like, no.
Right.
And then they tried to tack on this $500 service.
Of what?
It's like it's a GPS service, so if your car gets stolen,
they can like go track it.
but it's $500 for a year. And no.
Yeah, nobody's gonna do that.
So literally we were like, never mind. Got back in our car. We're sitting in the car, and the manager came out and knocked on the window. It was like, okay, we'll give you the price that you saw online. And I wish I could say that was all tactic. Like, that was just hard bargaining. But no, we were leaving. we were like, we'll figure it out. We'll find some other car.
Yeah, we're like, not this one.
And we drove an hour to that dealership, too.
Oh, my God. This is the thing that I find so crazy is, like, there are a couple of industries I feel like that are still the wild, wild west. And one of them is cars.
Yeah.
And it's just, you're making a $1,000 sale by itself.
Yeah.
Because, it's 2024. Every car, for some reason, is $3,500.
Yeah.
It's $35,000.
It's, $500,000 for something with 200,000 miles on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why do you need to add all this extra stuff?
Yeah. Well,
what is the $500 going to do for their sale?
And that's, right? And it's shady is what it is.
Yeah.
And, like, I get it. You're trying to make your buck. I'm trying to make my buck. But, like, that's shady. and I don't want to do that.
Completely agree.
But since they came back down, I was like, well, I do actually need a car. So
come to think of it, I did come here for a reason.
Yeah, my old car, nope, is noped out.
My old car is also noped out, but it is in our driveway.
Yeah, mine's out front of my house right now until we figure out what we're going to do with it.
Nice. This is the classiest, I think, we've ever been.
Yeah. The only thing classier is if there's like on blocks or something. Okay. Yeah.
Mine probably should be. The tires are melting into the driveway. Oh no. It's really bad.
How was your week?
So far so good. I'll be upfront with the audience. I don't think that this is anything not relatable. I feel like a lot of people would relate to this. I struggle a lot with like feeling productive.
Yes.
Regardless of whether or not I have been productive.
It's never enough.
It's never enough. And like on a whim, I could be like, I was really productive today. But most of the time, I'm like, it's never enough.
Yeah.
So this week, except for it's Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So I had one day where I was like, I really feel like I was not productive. And then every other day I've been like, I was productive enough.
Yeah.
So that's been a good week.
Okay, well that's good. Yeah, I feel like my answer to that issue is I just work way too much and schedule way too many things and like too many comedy shows, and so that way I'm too tired to feel like I'm not productive.
See, that's what I need to do, because I need to.
No, it's bad. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't work even more. I have also started to do a new fun thing. So I texted you, and I said, can we do a podcast where I just tell you about the bugs around my house?
Yes.
So one of my activities, and I am counting this in the productive category because it brings me joy,
okay,
is when I come home from work, I do a lap around the yard and basically do like a survey of what new plants or animals I have found. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's cicada season.
Yeah.
And so I've counted all of the cicada shells.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I count them every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not as many as you'd think. But I get maybe more than you think.
Well, I guess we're not in like prime cicada area.
Yeah.
But like I can hear them outside right now.
Yeah. And so the funny thing is that I continually find... And here's the other thing, because it's kind of a game. You can't look anything up. You can only look up, like, minimal details. So I looked up, is this year a 7, a 13, or a 21-year cicada year? Because there's no way I'd be able to figure that out on that.
Yeah.
And I think that this year, I don't remember what it was. I think it's a 7-year cicada year. However, that's not the cicadas that are coming out now. The cicadas that are coming out now are the annuals, which I didn't know.
Oh.
And they hatch between July and August.
Well, isn't there like a 7-year and a 13 years, like it's this year, like, is at the same time?
Sometimes.
There's like because it's like it's like a giant cicada season or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. The internet said something.
something. So I was looking up something to that effect, right? But what's hatching in my yard right now is just the annuals.
Oh, okay.
So I guess there are also just 1 year.
Oh, okay.
Cicadas. Okay. So that's part of it, and they keep hatching and crawling up this wall of the house actually.
Oh.
Which I find interesting because we have 4 old ass trees that are huge in the yard.
And it's like, why are you on the house?
Why are you on the house? So I'm led to believe one of 2 things, but you can't look it up.
Okay.
We must deduce.
Okay.
From our own experience.
Got it.
I've also been listening to Sherlock Holmes a lot. These are my 2 conclusions. 1, they happen to have laid hatchlings by the house last year.
Okay.
So they happen to just be coming out of the ground by the house.
Okay.
Thought number 2. The trees in the yard, for whatever reason, are unattractive to the cicadas for some chemical reason. So trees can change some of the chemicals that they produce at any given moment. Yeah. Fun fact, trees, if you like the smell of trees, gives you dopamine. That's like a legitimate chemical pathway.
Do you know how I know that?
Because somebody told you to go sniff grass.
No, the M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Happening, where the trees release chemicals that made you want to kill yourself.
Right.
Way ahead of you, trees.
So I'm like, okay, something is happening where the trees are producing this chemical, which it couldn't be the trees specifically because I also have hackberry trees that have just grown.
Okay.
That's the other thing, is that I do not maintain my lawn in any way other than I will mow it on occasion. So if it grows, it grows. Mm-hmm. So I think that there's something happening there.
Okay.
Second, we should talk about glitter.
We should talk about glitter. It's funny. So obviously, you guys probably know from the title of this podcast episode that it's about glitter. You text me and you're like, get ready to learn so much about glitter. And I am. I'm so ready.
Okay. So I had a lot of fun with this episode because one of the most fascinating components that I think leads a lot to the conspiracy theories about glitter is the way that it is produced, and like what glitter actually is so technical in nature.
Really?
Yes. And so everybody who has the secret of how to do it is really mum's the word about it.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So launching into the glitter conspiracy theory, it kind of starts in 2018.
Okay.
There was a New York Times article that came out, and this was sort of around the time that there's like this rumor, we are running out of glitter was like the rumor going around.
I vaguely remember that.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So from what I understand, we were never running out of glitter. We are not. There is enough glitter.
Okay. Don't worry about the glitter.
Don't worry about the glitter.
It's there.
Where the rumor started, I'm actually not sure. But in 2018, that was the rumor. So somebody from the New York Times went to one of the two biggest glitter manufacturers in the world.
Okay.
So there's two that are like the biggest.
Okay.
They are both in New Jersey.
Interesting.
That was my thought as well.
Okay. Yeah. It's not a place I think of like glitter lights.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the one that they interviewed was a place called Glitter X. So
Owned
glitter
by Elon Musk.
Yeah, Glitter EX.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's still kind of very Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
So this reporter went and they were basically like, hey, can I have a tour of your glitter facility? And the woman who was being interviewed, who I think is like a VP or...
Chloe.
Come here. Okay.
I hope that the mic's picked up the little pitter-patter of her feet.
I actually like to listen to her run.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Executive producer Chloe.
Executive producer Chloe, she's here.
Keeping an eye on the podcast.
Yeah. Her pregnancy was actually it was a scare.
It was a food baby.
Yes. So somebody from the New York Times went there, went to Glitter X, asked for a tour. The woman who the reporter was interviewing, she was like the VP relations, some person like that. And so basically the reporter goes in and say, can I have a tour? And she said, no, you cannot. And then...
I love that.
And then they were like, can we do talking about glitter? And she said, probably better that we don't. And then
What?
The reporter was like, so could you tell me, like, who's the biggest buyer of glitter? Like, who's your biggest customer? And the reporter goes, and this has kind of become iconic on the internet, I feel like. She goes, I most definitely know that I cannot tell you.
The United States military.
Yes.
They make a lot of vision boards.
Like, I know that we were talking about how we're going to need a theme for the season, but chaos and excessive secrecy is really about to come back in.
Okay. I already am feeling the excessive secrecy. Executive producer Chloe.
I need you to calm down.
That's just your neighbor.
So she goes, so that's what she says. She says, I definitely know that I cannot tell you. Which is so many words to say no.
This had to be a brief article.
Right? And so then, of course, the reporter at this point is like, so something fishy is going on in here. Must be, right? Okay, so then they were like, why can't you tell me? And she goes, well, they don't want anybody to know that it's glitter. So this is
what's glitter.
Exactly. So this is what has sparked the glitter conspiracy, which is, from this article, what is it that is glitter, or glitter is in it, that nobody has any idea?
And also, what is glitter?
It's being covered up.
What is it?
So glitter is...
dead bodies.
It is precision cut pieces of plastic that are covered in aluminum or other synthetic metal. So it came about basically by accident in a couple of different ways. But a lot of it was, I'm going to keep using this word precision cutting, because there was a situation in which the United States wanted to create one of the most lethal bombs ever.
They did.
And they hired somebody.
Was this an Oppenheimer?
No, I was hoping it would be an Oppenheimer. So in this situation in which the United States said, what if we did war crimes, per usual?
Yeah.
Chloe's against war crimes.
Good. Good job, Chloe.
Come on. So...
Chloe, stop. Oh my god. Okay.
It's just a mess of an episode.
It really is. It's fine.
Okay. Where was I? Oh, yes. The Manhattan Project.
Yeah.
So a man was hired, and he was a German. And so the FBI was like, are you a bad German? And then he was like, no.
I'm a good German.
So they were like, pass. So then he was working on the Manhattan Project, and what his job was to, again, I'm going to use the word precision cutting, or the phrase precision cutting, to cut down mica.
Okay.
Which is a mineral that is just, it's naturally occurring, and it is actually reflective.
Yeah.
So you often find it on beaches. So like sometimes you pick up the sand and it's like reflective. So that's what mica is. And so they had to cut this like into a disc, and then they put the plutonium rod through the two discs of mica.
Okay.
For a reason that I assume chemistry.
Yeah, or physics.
Probably. And so then that was kind of like the inner machinations of the bomb, right?
Yeah.
But when you're precision cutting this sort of flaky material that's already has like some iridescent effect, you get these tiny little flakes, and the tiny little flakes obviously reflect light.
They said, look at this.
Yeah. So
if you glued this to a scrapbook,
it would twinkle.
It would be amazing.
And then they said, what if they were like, what if we did it as a prank? And we put it in somebody's house, and then it never went away.
Ever. It's still there. That house got turned into the glitter museum.
Fun fact, Caroline does not allow me to buy glitter for that reason.
Bobby doesn't have any hard rules against glitter, but
It's okay. It's just a table.
It's just a table. But I think that he would probably be against me bringing glitter into the house.
I could see Bobby being against it.
Yeah.
I could see any reasonable person being against glitter in their home.
One year at Pride, they always have these stations where they'll glitter you, and we did it, and that was a mistake, because then we went back to our home, and glitter was everywhere.
Where the glitter remained.
Yes, to this day.
So... Oh, let me read you this. So this, I have to pull out my phone because I have to read this verbatim. So you said kind of how I was describing the mica and how it's precision cutting. So similarly, when this man and other people have found when they were precision cutting other pieces of metal, you could have this very similar like effect, right? Or if you were to cut now to make it cheaper, right, it's plastic, and then you like illuminize it, and then it becomes reflective. Okay, so here is an article. This is called Glitter Chemistry. This is written by Clive Jennings White, and this is what I love. This is what I know, right? This is what I love about it. 1, scientific paper, only one author. 2, okay, so this is called pyrotechnic glitter. And so this is a way to produce glitter. And so what you do is you take a burning pyrotechnic composition, so something that you can light on fire.
Okay.
Then you put it to fire. You put it to fire.
That too.
And then what happens is glowing droplets that are colloquially known as spritzels. This is a real article.
This is a scientific article, you say? Okay, spritzels, got it.
So the spritzels fall off during this combustion process.
Yeah, of course.
And that is going to be called, and then during that they're going to produce light, and that light is a delayed glitter flash.
Okay.
And so this is a method of pyrotechnic glitter.
Now this is the essence of Barbenheimer. Yeah, this is the idea of meshing Barbie and Oppenheimer together.
is glitter.
Is pyrotechnic glitter. I hope that Robert Oppenheimer himself saw the glitter, and that's when he's like, my God, what have we done?
I am death, destroyer of worlds.
I am death, destroyer of worlds.
And it's glitter that
glitter.
did it. Okay, so it's kind of which is not necessarily, this is not necessarily important to the glitter conspiracy theory, although I do want to circle back around to it because I have my own theory. So, it is, again, I'm going to say this for like the 5th time. Precision cut.
Precision cut. Yeah, precision cut. Plastic with some aluminum.
Yes, exactly. It's reflective.
Yeah, reflective.
So we are precision cutting. So that you have to do this with like special, very, very intricate, very precise, giant machines that do this. Okay, so during that article, again, they moved like into this room or whatever. Apparently, Glitter X will not even let people listen to or be in a room where they could hear the machines.
So, why?
That is a great question.
What does it sound like?
So another podcast actually kind of went down this rabbit hole as well.
Okay.
So I'm getting a lot of my information from this podcast. I think it's called Endless Threads.
Okay.
From a YouTube channel who also did a deep dive on it.
Okay.
And then also there is a TikToker. Because I get a lot of my information from
TikTok. Sure.
Right.
You do your own research.
Right.
Yeah.
Sources available on request. So.
But don't request it. This doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter.
Unless you want to make glitter.
Yeah. Okay, idea. Before we go any further.
Yes.
Sneak in to the Glitter X facilities.
Love it.
Discover how their glitter is made. And if we have time, get into their files. Figure out who...
Get it, just hack
who gets it. Yeah, we need to hack into the mainframe.
I'll bring my best gray hoodie.
I imagine Glitter X has a lot of paper files. I don't know why, but I don't feel like this is a very digital company.
Yeah. I imagine they also have, just to really keep on theme, those like kind of boards that have like a big blade on them and it's like a lever.
Oh,
And that's how you cut stuff
like
that
a
comes
paper
out.
cutter
Yes.
almost, but yeah.
Yeah.
They just go...
Here's that memo that you asked for. Okay, so they won't even let people listen to it. So there's all this secrecy.
Yes. Chaos and excessive secrecy.
Chaos and excessive secrecy. So then the internet jumped on it, TikTok jumped on it, and everybody was like, what is it? So I'm going to go down the list of the theories. I'm going to just start with like a few, and I want your ranking for each one.
Okay, yeah.
Out of 10. Number 1 theory.
Okay.
Glitter is mixed into the sand at beaches to make them more photo-genic or influency.
Sure. Just right off the bat, you want me to rate these?
Yeah.
I have a hard time with that one because there's a lot of sand. You'd have to use a lot of glitter.
Yeah.
And also, someone would see you do this. So I'm going to say 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10 on that one. Okay. The next one is money, so that there's glitter in like our currency.
Okay. I mean, I don't have a reason not to believe it, other than it's not very glittery. So maybe 4 or 5 out of 10.
4 or 5. Okay, and then one of the ones that the TikToker thinks is the case is countertops.
Huh. Okay, because my immediate thought is there's not been a time on this podcast that you've referenced a TikToker that I've bought into it.
That's true.
But, yeah, like, especially, like, for mica countertops and stuff like that, marble, granite, I could see glitter being mixed into granite countertops because it's sparkly.
It is sparkly. So it could be, and it could be that it's a big enough, this was the TikToker's thought, was that it's a big enough industry, and it's the kind of thing where you wouldn't actually want people to know that it's just glitter. And this is kind of bridging the gap, but I think that the assumption that was made there is the assumption that was made in previous years in, like, the Endless Threads podcast, which came out several years ago.
Yeah.
Where people seem to dislike that or have this idea about glitter because it's very cheap now. So you don't want people to know, oh, my granite countertops have glitter in them.
Yeah.
Because it lessens the value.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So that actually makes sense to me without any sort of evidence. Because the question is, like, what industry would not want you to know that it's glitter?
Right.
And for some reason, my first impulse was food. But, like...
Oh, that is a theory. People have said food.
It's like, what would people freak out about? Food.
Yeah.
But countertops makes a lot of sense.
In our, capitalist, post-capitalist society.
Yeah.
It does make sense. I don't think that is bad.
No.
As, like, a bad line of logic.
Yeah.
Food is an interesting one that you bring up because it has been noted that, like, zoologists or zookeepers will put glitter or edible glitter in food of animals that they are tracking. Yeah. So that they can continue to track that animal. Oh. Because you just find the sparkly poop and then you know that's your guy.
Okay. So you think someone's tracking us by our poop?
Somebody could be tracking us by our poop.
Okay.
So then I was kind of looking, several years later, this YouTube channel comes out and they post their video and they go a different route. Because all of the focus in this podcast, in this conversation, up until this moment, has been on Glitter X. Yes. Because they're the ones who kind of, without meaning to, blew the whistle on their own secrecy.
Yeah, I feel like this VP lady probably got in a little bit of trouble.
Probably.
Because that is a dumb sentence to say. They wouldn't like it if you knew it was glitter. Yeah.
And then I didn't go through, I didn't say all of the article, but I think they quoted her after that saying something along the lines of, we just shouldn't talk about it. Something like that.
Here's what it is. It's the military. Biggest purchaser of glitter. Goes all the way back to the Manhattan Project. And I want to introduce a concept to you. Very literally, glitter bombs.
Very literally glitter bombs. Yeah. Oh, and I did, you know what? I'm glad that you brought that up because I did misspeak. So earlier when I had spoke about the Manhattan Project, the bomb, the mica, all of that funneled down after the years. That was the inception of the other glitter company. The other glitter company that is in New Jersey, unnamed, unmarked, random factory in the back of a farm. That's huge. Very secretive, again. Yeah. Nobody's been in it. And the guy who did the mica cutting, his son was part of that company. His father had kind of left it to him. Okay. And his siblings. And he invented holographic glitter, which is like the modern day glitter. Yeah. Which is, I don't really know what the difference is, if I'm being totally honest with you.
Well, one's holographic. Right. Obviously.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And then they kicked him out. Oh. They said no more.
They ousted him.
And so then he agreed to an interview with this YouTube channel and did confirm that a lot of the work that company does is with government contracts.
So I think the biggest, they could have just been Walmart. Yeah. Because I would assume Hobby Lobby or something is the biggest glitter.
Yeah, because people gotta buy it for their crafts.
Yeah. Just if she had thought for a second, she would have been like, "Oh yeah, it's Michael's."
Yeah, lie.
Yeah. People were like, oh, that makes sense. Michael's is a craft store.
Right. And then we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
And, like, sometimes secrecy really is too excessive.
Yes.
Yeah. I think sometimes you create controversy by being stupid. And this isn't even, like, conspiracy theorists are being stupid, though, I'm sure. Sure, there's that. But, like, that's so silly. It's so silly. It
is, right? Like, just, I don't know, say nothing. Like, why did you even let the New York Times get that close?
You know who it probably is?
What? Santa?
The New World Order.
Oh, yeah.
So we have to create the New World Order through creative and efficient uses of glitter.
Right, because of the holograms, that we're projecting
the blue
across
beams.
the world.
Yes.
So that we can uncover the secret and begin a new religion to oust the other religions.
I don't know if you remember that begins with finding artifacts. Glitter.
Yeah. It's all coming together.
Did you know that if you found 2,000-year-old glitter, it would disprove Christianity?
Do you want to know why it would disprove Christianity?
Why?
Because it would prove that Jesus was at Pride.
Because if there was a God, glitter wouldn't be around for 2,000 years.
100%. Okay, so Glitter X is, again, they're being all secretive. And then there's this other company, and they're the ones with the connection to the military. That's confirmed. Glitter X has confirmed nor denied nothing.
The second company.
Yes. So the unnamed company. This is our military company.
Oh, we don't even know the name of this company?
No.
That's so, like, if you had asked me how secretive of an industry glitter is, I'd be like, not. It's glitter. It's the most conspicuous thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's kind of hard for me to wrap my brain around.
And it's the most conspicuous thing in the world. And the largest consumer, the largest customer who is buying to manufacture with glitter is not Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Walmart. Like, it's not a craft company.
Yeah.
So they continue to ask around.
Okay.
And so then there was this interview with this man who invented holographic glitter. He got ousted with his family. This is the unnamed company.
Got it.
But he's essentially confirming that glitter has a lot of uses. And he's confirming this because you can also use these same methods of precision cutting to create things like chaff. Now, chaff is a radar absorbing material or radar reflective material that you would use on aircrafts for the military.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it's not, but according to the other podcast, it's not technically glitter so much as it is a, compound composite that is cut in a way that is similar to glitter, I suppose.
Yeah, just a different material.
But then it feels like semantics, right?
Because what is glitter, really?
If we're defining glitter as precision cut, aluminized pieces of something.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't that count? Small little
bits of spritzels. I got all these spritzels. You're saying this isn't glitter?
Oh my goodness. I just loved that. I just loved it. There was also another man that was on the Endless Thread podcast that they interviewed, and I forget his name, but he goes, yeah, it's a good flake. So this is the way that people talk in the glitter industry. Spritzels,
when
flakes.
They fucking do talk.
Yeah, when they do talk.
You know what's funny is I'm sure this New York Times reporter was grumbling about this assignment.
Basically wrote this article to be like, fuck you.
My stupid fucking glitter assignment. I don't even want to do this. And then we're like, I may be uncovering something huge here. Okay,
so then now we're kind of now we're opening doors. Now we're looking. We do see that there are things that either are or are related to glitter.
Okay.
That perhaps the U.S. military or other companies would have a vested interest, perhaps, in us not knowing that it's glitter. Or it could be that it is something very simple, and whoever this customer is that wants all of this glitter just doesn't want to reveal their secrets for business reasons.
For like trade secrets?
Yes.
Okay.
And so that led the Endless Thread podcast down the rabbit hole of vehicular paint. So it's in boat paint, was their conclusion. And I need a 0 out of 10 on this one.
Boat paint? I mean, yeah, 6 or 7, but I don't see why they would care.
That's the question.
Yeah.
That's the question.
So, like, so to me, if you're asking, is the big hidden people boat paint? Probably not.
Probably not.
Because, like, I don't think that's outside of their purview, right? They were like, yeah, we put glitter in our paint to make it extra painty.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we've all seen a boat.
It's glittery.
It's glittery.
Chloe, what do you think about
Chloe
the boat?
knows that.
Yeah. Do you think, hey, do you see that over there?
That's your reflection.
It's your reflection.
Glitter really riles her up, is what I've learned.
She gets hot about glitter.
Hot about glitter, hot about government contracts. Chloe!
It's literally you.
Be done.
It's you.
You can be done. You're okay. Disrespectful.
Disrespect. But no, don't. But just don't.
Actually, this will work.
Let's just do this. Nighttime.
Good girl.
It's nighttime.
Perfect. Now she can't see. Excellent. You're so short.
See how there's nothing over there?
She's like, yeah. I guess I'll just put my little head down. My weary little head. Perfect. So they concluded with boat paint. They were basically like, oh, it's just a trade secret. They just didn't want people to know until they got into contact with somebody who makes paint.
Yeah.
For boats and cars and such.
Yeah.
And then it was after that the countertops theory came out.
Okay.
So knowing this information, how do you feel about the countertops theory?
Yeah, I guess I never rated it. I mean, I'm going to stay middle of the road with it without any sort of evidence other than they do sparkle. And I could see some of that possibly being glitter. I'd say like 5 or 6. Yeah. Like, right. I feel good about the countertop theory. Right. I don't feel good about the boat theory because I don't see why they would be secretive about it.
Right.
Even in like trade secrets, it's not... fucking glitter isn't much of a stretch. Right. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be like advantageous for the company to be like, you can use glitter in this?
Well, yeah, wouldn't it be like, we use glitter, that's why it's reflective. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. To me, it's not a big deal. I think the hang up is, there's somebody purchasing glitter who does not want you to know it's glitter. Yes. And it's mind-boggling that we're having this conversation.
Isn't it? It's crazy.
It's crazy. That's what's so crazy to me, actually, is it's the intrigue, the secrecy. You can't even hear the glitter machines. That's the answer I want. What do the glitter machines sound like that we can't even hear it?
Right? So Endless Threads did track down another glitter company that's based in Germany. Okay. Who, and their podcast... Glitter. Pretty much. Their podcast claims that they were the ones who invented glitter because they had to go in and when you take trash and you just and they just mash it down. Mm-hmm. They were doing that and they were chunking it all up and then tiny pieces came off and they were like glitter.
I think it's possible that glitter was simultaneously invented.
Yeah. We have coevolution happening.
Yeah. So many things are the wheel, houses,
wings.
Wings, glitter. All of these things simultaneously invented.
Yeah. All at the same time, actually. Yeah. So they talked to somebody who was a descendant of this company, and he had said that in their facility they had a really, really old cutting machine. Yeah. And that they have a nickname for it. They call it the devil because it sounds so awful when they turn it on. which I do find fascinating in the context of taking all of the information that I've had since that podcast has come out, combining it with the other information that I've been able to find. That seems to contextualize for me why you wouldn't necessarily allow people to listen to it.
Because it's terrifying?
Because it's terrifying.
And it doesn't make you think of glitter. It makes you think of the literal hell.
It makes you think of, like, the Saw movies.
Well, so I imagine precision cutting. At mass quantity at the same time. You want to cut a lot of glitter at once. Probably sounds wild.
Yeah.
I imagine that there's a lot of noises. Now, what they don't want you to know is that's not true.
Okay, tell me your theory. What are you thinking it is?
So, glitter is not actually plastic covered in aluminum. That's a government lie.
Right, it always is.
Glitter comes from a cryptid. And what they have to do is hang that cryptid by its feet and shake it.
And that's why you get these terrible... It's Mothman, and they're just slowly peeling his wings.
Yeah, yes, and they're screaming. And that's why it sounds like screaming. Because it is.
Because torture is real.
Because torture is real.
Thanks, kids. We'll see you next time.
Next time you're making your fun little arts and crafts, remember...
Welcome to our demented show that's almost like the Wiggles. In some ways...
This is our version of fruit salad.
Okay, I kind of like the cryptids theory because I did hear... This is kind of beside the point, but somebody in one of these interviews at some point said something along the lines of they are working on special flakes that mirror or are similar to the ways in which butterfly wings are pigmented. You know how butterfly wings are kind of dusty?
Yeah.
So the flakes are similar to that.
Oh, I have a new theory.
What's your new theory?
It's to make butterflies.
So butterflies are actually not real.
So you know how butterfly wings seem like glitter? It's because
they are.
They are.
And
And butterflies are drones.
Because we had to replace them after we killed all of the butterflies.
Now, and they mostly just monitor, but they could attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's why we keep sending them south to Mexico every winter.
So essentially, it's come down to glitter is used in government contracts.
Okay.
Glitter is used in boat paint. It is used in some vehicle paints. Glitter is used in a lot of things.
So the government contracts.
Yeah.
I would be curious because, like, how is the question? Because you don't think of the government as very glittery. So it makes me wonder what, like, part of the government.
Oh, the secret underground Pentagon parties.
Oh, the orgies.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the sex parties.
The glitter sex parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about those.
The Pentagon has thousands of millions of billions of dollars unaccounted for. All of that is glitter.
That's why their finances are so big. Yeah, I think really what it is you know how there's expansive underground tunnels under the Pentagon.
Right.
The sex tunnels.
Yeah.
The glitter sex tunnels under the Pentagon.
That everybody's heard about.
And
I took 4th grade history.
And 9/11, never forget.
Yeah.
The real danger, besides the stated obvious, it was that one of the planes, when it went into the Pentagon, almost revealed the glitter sex tunnels because it went down.
That's why. Okay, that is actually a perfect segue into my own personal theory. Okay, so before I give you my theory, here's what I want to say to you. So through all of this information, basically, people have confirmed, though GlitterX and these glitter companies have not confirmed. People have figured out through other methods, basically going from like manufacturer to manufacturer to manufacturer until eventually somebody buys from GlitterX. What do you use it for?
Yeah.
To figure out that there are some things that have glitter in it that you may have not expected.
Yeah.
So, my question to you is 0 out of 10, what would you rank that the largest consumer, the largest customer that GlitterX has for glitter
Okay.
is something like super secret, super shocking, like at all. Like it is food.
If it is, yeah, if something that
like the general public would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Because that's kind of what she was implying. If people would be upset if they knew it was glitter. So that's the thing, is like, from that statement alone, it seems like it's something shocking, but it could also be something super mundane that like only 4 people would care about or something.
Right.
Gosh, I guess 6 out of 10, just from her statement.
Right. Like, it seems like, it's like, why would you say that if there wasn't something there?
Yeah. Why would you say that?
That's what we want to know. So
Yeah.
so I've held back my theory. I've held back my theory with one other piece of information. And this kind of goes back to that unnamed glitter company and their work with the government contracts. So they have confirmed, and by they, I mean the ousted brother has confirmed.
Okay.
So this is one individual.
Who has a bit of a chip on his shoulder.
Bit of a chip, you know. So we take it with a grain of salt. But sort of tendentially confirmed that glitter can be used to maintain fuel temperatures for like rockets, combustibles, and things like that.
What?
So my theory actually is that the largest customer of glitter is airlines.
Like Boeing.
And not necessarily for the paint, because
But for the fuel.
but for the engine pieces to keep the fuel burning at a constant temperature.
So they would coat the engine pieces in glitter.
Like the inside of it.
That's interesting.
Or it could be used, I suppose, within the fuel itself. Which this makes a lot of sense to me because that, I mean, it is a real thing, right? Like we've seen rocket launches.
Yeah.
And the fuel that you have to use in order to get something out into the atmosphere is something that is so, it has to create so much energy, right? To like get out of gravity. That how do you control that without blowing up the thing that you're trying to project?
And the answer is glitter.
The answer is glitter. So if not airlines, maybe NASA. If not NASA, SpaceX.
SpaceX exclusively uses glitter.
GlitterX, SpaceX.
I'm saying.
Coincidence?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I do. So I think the airlines thing is interesting because I'm still looking at through the lens of like what would people kind of freak out about, and I think on its face, would I be like, I would just probably be like, oh, that's interesting, but you know how quickly, like especially the online mob can just turn and suddenly whip everybody into a frenzy. I think that people would be alarmed to know that airplane engines are coated in glitter, and they might think, oh, well, that's a weak solution to something, or you know, doesn't feel safe.
That's kind of where my thought is, right?
Yeah.
Because if you were to tell me like off the street, oh, that the Boeing engine is made of glitter. Yeah. First of all, this day and age, I would be like, yeah.
Why the fuck not?
Why not?
Yeah. You know, I think that it's more likely that if this is the case, that Boeing's engines aren't coated in glitter.
They can't do shit
but
right.
Boeing,
even putting glitter in their engines.
Boeing, we are not whistleblowing. Just to be clear, we're not whistleblowing. Please don't send your assassins.
Don't come for us.
But I would. So it's not an exciting theory. It's not aliens, but
it's not aliens. But it is also, again, this is my theory specifically.
I think that it's interesting, because he did say that it can be used to regulate fuel temperatures.
Right.
Planes are something that would need, over a vast amount of time, pretty regulated fuel temperature.
Yep.
Because you're pretty high up in the sky.
For like a while.
And you need to stay there until you don't.
But also come down like slowly.
Yes.
Not the way that Boeing planes, I
Yeah.
mean schmoing planes come down.
Yeah. You're landing one way or the other.
Right.
Yeah, I think that makes a bit of sense. And I would actually love it. I would love it. Our planes have gone woke.
And they're all full of glitter.
They're gay now. Our planes are all drag queens. There's nothing you can do about it. They've always been drag queens.
Now they're going to have wigs.
Yeah, no, I would say, again, 5 or 6 out of 10 on that one.
Okay.
I think it's food.
You think it's food?
I think it's food.
Tell me why you think it's food.
One, because that's what people would freak out the most about, is ingesting glitter.
Yeah.
And I think, I can't think of any particularly shiny food, but...
Just off the top of my head.
Off the top of my head, glaze on donuts, melted down glitter.
Could be.
Who knows? Edible glitter, just real glitter.
Just real glitter. I mean, that like you bring up a good point, right? So like edible glitter, what's that? Probably
glitter.
Probably glitter.
Yeah. Biodegradable glitter, just glitter.
Yep.
That's when I was big into the like rave and music festival scene. People were like, they would like shame you for not using biodegradable glitter. And I'll be honest, I still don't know what that is or where to get it.
Yeah.
So.
Or how it is in fact biodegradable.
I would just tell people that it was biodegradable glitter.
I think that's a case of, if there is somebody who is buying all of this glitter to use in something that we would never know that it's glitter, there is definitely also another company telling you it's biodegradable and it's not.
That's my conspiracy theory, is that the biodegradable glitter doesn't exist and no companies are selling it. But everybody...
It's a lie!
Everybody is just telling everybody else that they're using biodegradable glitter so they don't get judged for using non-biodegradable glitter.
Yeah, of course.
I do think the question of glitter is also very interesting. That's a stupid fucking sentence. But, because...
In this paper, I will.
In this essay, because we do have such a microplastics issue.
We really do.
And it's still a macroplastic, but only barely.
Only just like a little bit.
Yeah, so I think maybe glitter will eventually be looked at as the same as kind of like lead paint. Like, why did we do that?
Yeah. Well, and especially, okay, so you bring it up like in food, and we all of us have a non-zero amount of microplastics in our bloodstream at any given moment.
Yeah.
And it's not good to have any. 0 is the ideal number. All of us have more than 0.
More than 0. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you're telling me that if you, let's say you go and you get glittered up, some of that you're eating.
Yeah, you're eating glitter.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh,
it's like spiders laying eggs in your ears and while you sleep.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that.
It's not real.
It's not real.
That doesn't happen.
No. Also, I refuse to believe that you eat X amount of spiders in your lifetime.
No, it's not real. You don't do that.
Yeah. I don't think spiders are crawling into mouths.
Nope.
I refuse. You can't show me a single bit of evidence that I will choose to believe.
That's because there isn't any.
Yeah. If there was, and if that did happen, this would be the bad place. Like, that's...
I confirm. All that other bad shit that happened... The final straw was spiders in the mouth.
Think about it. If spiders just willingly crawled into your mouth, that is what hell is.
Yeah.
That's hell.
So let me get your thoughts on this experiment.
Okay.
This is branching off of spiders.
Okay.
I have a lot of cicada shells.
Mm-hmm.
In and around the house.
Got it.
Okay. Thoughts on precision cutting cicada shells.
make cicada shell glitter?
Yeah.
That's probably what biodegradable is. Oh no!
If you will.
The ciglitter.
You'll never lose it again.
Oh no! Did we come up with a business idea?
I think we did. I think also I wanted to go back to this. New World Order consulting firm.
New World Order consulting firm.
Obviously, our business cards have to have glitter.
Yeah.
And should be holographic.
It should be ciglitter, though.
It's ciglitter, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should be holographic. And honestly, it should have something that if you put lemon juice on it, it shows invisible ink.
100%.
Like, I think it's like lemon juice and heat or something, right?
Yeah.
And to all of that, I'm taking from National Treasure.
I'm just agreeing with you.
Yeah. But it should have some sort of invisible message on it. TBD what that is. It could just say TBD.
It could also be Nick Cage's face. No, you couldn't convince me to use a business more quickly.
Like, okay, yeah, watch this. It's just a...
I love that movie is also like a really good example of if you say something with confidence,
Yeah.
people will believe you.
Yeah. That Criminal Minds is a really good example. Any procedural law show is where they all will like start a sentence and someone will say another part and someone will say another part. That can be the most ridiculous sentence in the world, but it's believable.
Okay, we'll end the podcast on that. That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
So, final rankings. We're at like 5 or 6 out of 10. It could be something shocking, but it's really kind of a coin flip.
I think that, it's 50-50 that it's something that will genuinely shock us or something that's mundane that the glitter people are so far in glitter world that they think that it'll shock us. But I actually want to end a podcast on this. I want to go back to the glitter. If we could.
What do you mean, this 10 out of 10 business idea? Rank the business idea!
10 out of 10. Because the business idea... Glitter.
Yep.
For your clitoris. To make it noticeable.
Right.
For men.
Never lose it again.
We could also call it glitterous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And best part. It's biodegradable.
Sharks, I'm looking for 5%.
We'll give you a 7.5% stake if you were to give us $4 million up front.
And that would be a good deal.
I think so.
Yeah.
How much of this product do we already have? None of your business.
Yeah. Well, we can't tell you. We can't tell you how it's made.
Because of the precision cutting.
You can't even hear how it's made. And you can't even hear how it's applied. And
that is how you know that it works. Because when have you ever heard or seen a clitoris?
I've never heard one. For sure. I think that if I did hear one, I would be startled. Yeah, I think that's fair. Honestly, at this point in my life, if I saw one, I'd be pretty startled. Like, what the fuck is that? I'd be like, whoa, clitoris. It's been a minute. It's like glitter. I never thought I'd see the day. Yeah, but you just can't get rid of it. You just can't. It's everywhere. Okay, so... You let clitoris into your home. I like it. Okay, so I have one more 0 out of 10 for you. Mm-hmm. And that is 0 out of 10 of the options that I have given you that prominent people on the internet think that it is, which is government contracts, let's say chaff specifically. Gotcha. And then let's say boat paint. And countertops. All of these three combined. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that this is a done conversation? Do you feel like that the conspiracy is over? It's one of these three things? I think, yeah. I think that, I don't think it's boat paint. I think there is glitter in boat paint, but I don't think people care. It's just not the answer. Yeah, I think, I could see it being a trade secret sort of thing, but I just don't think that that's the answer to this. I think most likely, the countertop thing makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. I think most likely it's something government related. Okay. And I think that, I don't know if it would be shocking, but it would be just something unexpected. Okay, so 10 being you think the conversation is over, 0 being that you think the conversation is not over. You don't think the conversation is over. I think 7, I think that, we have had episodes that have talked about the Catholic Church. It's talked about Freemasons. It's talked about the sort of Illuminati, New World Order. Some very secretive groups, right? Mm-hmm. The Mafia was in one. Very secretive groups. I've not had such an issue running into a wall like the glitter industry.
Yeah, because like, so something that you have often said is points against any kind of New World Order secret society. Why are they leaving you clues?
Yeah.
And this particular instance, glitter is not leaving us
Glitter's
clues.
not leaving us any clues. It's almost not enough to sink your teeth into.
Yeah.
Which is tantalizing.
Yes.
It's crazy because it's fucking glitter. Like at the end of the day, we're talking
stuff of nightmares.
We're talking about glitter.
Yeah.
I guess maybe I'm not seeing the broader scope of all the things that glitter can do.
Yeah.
You know, but I do think, I like you. I actually really like, I think if I'm the most sold on anything that we talked about, it's the airline engine thing that you came up with.
I will continue to research it, and I will come back to you in a couple of episodes and see.
Yeah, that episodes indeed. No, that honestly makes a weird amount of sense for me, because I think that people would freak out, but I think that it, maybe has its scientific basis if that one guy was not just blowing smoke up our ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which could be. Listen, if I were ousted out of a fucking glitter company,
I would start saying some weird
I would
shit.
say the dumbest fucking shit.
I would do the same thing.
I would be
100%.
Glitter is alive and it's coming for all of us. Like, we have to keep it at bay with guns.
Glitter is actually a single-celled organism.
Yeah, and it is slowly eating
all
society. Yeah. Which is what I fervently believe.
It is the parasite that is in everyone's brain.
Yes. That microplastics? No.
It's glitter.
It's glitter. Microglitter.
Microglitter. And it's alive.
I will say, so, like, again, it's wild. I didn't know what you were going to be bringing when you were telling me that you were going to talk about glitter.
A lot of precision cutting.
I think a funny-ass takeaway is that it was an accidental byproduct of the Manhattan Project.
Yeah.
I think that's weirdly hilarious. Manhattan Project, not funny.
Right.
As Christopher Nolan proved. I didn't watch that movie.
I also did not.
I just don't. Okay. Also, here's the thing. It was just last year. The Barbenheimer thing.
Yeah.
I get that the funniness of it is that it's two totally different movies. But I do not want to walk out of Barbie, which gave me all of the feelings, kind of lifted you up, made you feel good, made you laugh, and then walk into fucking Oppenheimer.
Yeah, like who's doing that?
Also, my mom called me one day and we were just talking. She's like, "Yeah, we watched Oppenheimer last night." And I was like, "Oh, what'd you think?" She's like, "They were just talking."
Literally the
entire movie. They were just talking. And I was like, "Well, what did you think?" It's a movie about scientists. Like, it's what did you think it was going to be?
Just a lot of action. Just a lot of bombs. Just constantly.
Bombs. Like, every 5 minutes, another bomb.
Just somebody diving off screen.
Little did you know, there were so many bombs. I just thought that was funny. Because I was like, yeah, of course it was just a lot of talking.
But I think that could also be, honestly, kind of a fair critique of the movie. Because from what I understand, I haven't seen it, it also fails the Bechdel test. So what even are you talking about?
It has to fail the Bechdel test. I would be surprised if two women were talking at all in that movie. It really is, like, I hesitate to say this because so many people are passionately defensive of Christopher Nolan. It's such a Christopher Nolan movie. It's such a Nolan Bros movie.
Yeah.
That it reeks of self-importance.
Self-importance, deeper than it actually is.
Yeah, it thinks it's addressing so many crazy issues when it's like, did you know that people are inherently bad? Like, yeah, we've been around.
But also, you didn't even say anything with that. Or, what does that statement do for me as the audience?
Yeah, or like Inception. Did you know dreams are weird? What if we were in them? Shutter
Inception
Island
is really like what would happen if you made your wife go crazy, but then you were the main character.
That's
and she's the villain.
Marion Cotillard's character should have been the main character.
100%.
Yeah.
Because Leonardo DiCaprio really said, let's do this until your brain melts. And then
I think
forget about you.
The biggest leap, like the hardest least realistic thing, the hardest thing for me to accept as truth is that he had an age-appropriate wife.
Maybe I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, I think it would be great if in Oppenheimer, I'm not going to watch it, so I'm going to choose to believe that this happened. They were like, glitter.
We have to put glitter inside.
We have to do something with this.
Or just like there's like this whole like B plot of the movie where somebody's picking up the spretzels.
Yeah,
and they're like, look at these pretzels.
Yeah, and they're just like slowly on their own journey of discovering
glitter.
Arts and crafts.
Right, and it's Jack Black. I would love
that. I would love for it to be Jack Black being like, I can put this on paper.
Yeah.
And it makes sparkles.
And they stay there.
And his wife is a kindergarten teacher, and she's like, we can use this.
And then they solve world hunger. And this all happens in the background of Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Just a true juxtaposition there.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose to believe that. This I think, yeah, absolutely. That's my biggest conspiracy theory, is that glitter could be used to save the world.
And they choose not to.
They've got silos of world-saving glitter, and they just refuse to use it.
Exactly. What is it even for? 5G?
Is it to get the 5G into our brains? Is that what it is?
The glitter's already in us. We already talked about it.
The glitter activates the 5G from the glitter that's on the outside of us to the glitter that's on the inside of us. It makes a connection.
Until we find it in a ravine caused by a man-made earthquake, and that will cease all religion.
Did you know this is exactly what the Joe Rogan podcast sounds like? This is it right there.
So success.
Success. We did it. The most listened to podcast for some God-forsaken reason.
It's because he says it like it is.
He just says it like it is. Yeah. What is it? It's not based
important.
In reality.
It's not important.
Yeah.
That's what we've learned today. 1, glitter is the only important thing. 2, nothing else matters.
That's it.
3, seclitter.
Seclitter.
Money! Give it to me.
Seclitter is money in the bank.
Money in the bank.
We could just print money with Seclitter.
If you want to donate to fund this podcast, just know that all of that money will now go to Seclitter.
You actually have a couple options on how to fund this podcast. 1, you could give us some money directly, or 2, you could purchase Seclitter. And all proceeds go to making more Seclitter, actually.
And we will, because obviously we can precision cut like nobody's business.
Oh, yeah. I precision cut all the time.
All the time. We can also make a Seclitter Bitcoin type cryptocurrency.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe that's what it is that it's cryptocurrency.
Which is great, because I don't actually know what that is.
That is. It's also not
It could be glitter.
real, but it could be glitter.
It could be glitter.
Because apparently you can't hear or see it being made.
And you can't hear or see Bitcoin being made.
That's true.
Yeah. I think we're onto something.
I think we solved it all.
Yeah. Anyways, buy our Seclitter.
It's for everybody. Tell your mom, your grandma, your aunt.
Your uncle.
Your uncle.
Your aunt needs your uncle to get the Seclitter.
I think everybody should put a little Seclitter wherever they feel comfortable.
Wherever.
And I think that's an excellent place to end the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to tell us where you'd put your Seclitter, you can find us on social media at Who's Funding This Podcast. You can email us, who'sfundingthispodcast@gmail.com. Tell us your conspiracy theory ideas. We want to hear them. I have a list of things that's come off social media that we'll eventually start working through. So yeah, let us know what you want. Let us know.
Let us know what your one conspiracy is that you wholeheartedly believe in.
I cannot wait to address mine.
I'm so excited.
I'm just going to keep teasing it until I finally do it. It's going to be probably later in the season. But yeah. Anyways, we'll see you guys next week.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.